Hello, welcome to Matters of DeCorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. Spelljammer should have been my warning sign. I mean, it was a warning sign. It wasn't as big a warning sign as it should have been. An indicator that I need to start writing my own material for my own system. Write more material for my own system. The OGL kerfluffle is still kind of going on. There was a substantial backlash against Wizards of the Coast in the form of people canceling their D&D Beyond subscriptions. Since my last video, I might have been one of the people doing that. And as a result, Wizards of the Coast has backed off from the 1.1 OGL that they proposed with a letter that is a masterclass in writing the dialogue for a spineless villain. And we'll see where it goes from there. In the meantime, other game companies have banded together to create their own OGLs that are not held by any one gaming company, but held by third-party legal firms responsible for keeping it open, free, and unchanged. Which is all good. All good. I'm happy to see the industry moving ahead and to see some of the dependency on the Wizards of the Coast LGL be dropped, because at this point in time, once the hand reaches for your cookie jar, you know the hand's going to reach for the cookie jar again. It doesn't matter how high you have your fork poised to jab it into the back of that hand, reaching for the cookie jar. It's coming back. You can even jab it a few times or maybe cancel some subscriptions on it, but that hand will be back. It's been back. It's been there before. It'll be back again. That's just kind of how the nature of the beast and how it operates. So, I did have some plans to write some supplemental material for D&D. I've written a couple of books that I did not market them well, and the covers were really bad. The content was pretty good, but they didn't ever really fly, and that's for the best. I had some other ideas, things I was going to throw, and you know what? No. I have a system. I have a role-playing game. It needs more supplements, and maybe this is what's going to push my brain over the edge. The poor quality of the books that have been coming out from Wizards of the Coast is a big indicator. Not that the artwork has been bad, not that the books have been badly bound, not that they're unattractive on a purely aesthetic level, but when you actually dig into the content of them and how it's written and how it relates to the game, they've been somewhere between mediocre and feck awful. And I can do better than that. Have done better than that. And it's about time I got back to doing better than that. The Strixhaven was a ridiculously poorly organized book. Spelljammer, I covered Spelljammer. If you don't watch the review that I did of it, it took me 3 weeks, and every week filled me with a little bit more dread. It's time for me to write my own, not just another supplement for Victory. A lot of the material that I have ready to go for Victory is, or not ready to go, but ready to write about for Victory, is near modern. The setting that I came up with that's closer to modern day. And I think I'm going to, sometimes in order to get one project out that you've got a block on, you need to get another project out that comes around that and gets you back into the flow of work. So I might need to write a fantasy setting for Victory. Not that I'm not going to write the rest of the material. I think if I can crank out something on a fairly serious basis, because it's been years since I've been able to properly do it, damage and motivation and whatnot, I think I can get to it, because this is what got me to write Victory to begin with. Well, it's what got me to write Hot Chicks to begin with, which led to Victory. And that's the role-playing industry starting to suck. And as much as I hate to say it, Wizards of the Coast is 85% of that at the moment. So if they have a real problem again, then maybe I can just step up and make my own happen. The last time this happened, back in 2006, 2007, in that area, Curse of the Fourth Edition, where everyone came out with a fourth edition of their game that wasn't good and made me have to write my own. Dungeons and Dragons, GURPS, World of Darkness, Cyberpunk, all of them within a few months of each other. Here's 4-color glossy paper with something that looks like our old rules and some new changes nobody asked for, and why are you walking away? To be perfectly fair, Cyberpunk 23X did not print on 4-color glossy paper. The most responsible of them all, ecologically speaking, printed in soy ink on recycled paper. The entire book was biodegradable, and I do have to applaud that effort. In an era where everyone was throwing more and more ink and metal into their books, looking at you, World of Darkness, at least Artel Serene Games, under the helm of Mike Pondsmith, made decisions to make their book economically or ecologically sustainable. And it contained the fusion rules. So there's two good things I can say about the book. So now it's time for me to do this again. My son got me, induced me to get a new keyboard. I've been working on a perfectly good keyboard that shut itself off every so often, very annoying. And so I might have overcompensated with the keyboard I've got now. It feels really good, and it's got really clacky keys, and it makes me want to type. And now I'm motivated. I do get complacent. I have been able to sit back and use someone else's system and enjoy the elegance of D&D 5e, because it is an elegant system. Don't get me wrong, I like D&D 5e. Is it perfect? No. Does it let me do everything I want to do? Also no. Is it acceptable? Does it get the job done at the end of the day? Yeah. Can I work with it? Sure can. Am I going to work with it? Heck no. Not at this point in time. Because I'm not just a dungeon master. I am also a creator. I'm a writer. I need to be making some supplements for something, and Wizards of the Coast has demonstrated that it can't be them. I really wish it could be, but under the old OGL, sure. If they decided they were going to, the only change we're going to make to the OGL is make sure that we have the word irrevocable on it, so that no one can try and do this again, not even us. That would be great. If that's the only change that if OGL 1.0b is to add the word irrevocable to its language, okay, then I might consider doing some supplements and material for Dungeons and Dragons again. But short of that, system agnostic information or stuff for the Victory system. My Wednesday night D&D group, the Wednesday Warriors Wednesday. Last Wednesday we spent some time converting our characters. There isn't really a straight conversion from D&D to Victory. There's just too much stuff in Victory, and not all the concepts translate. So making approximations of our characters, so that we can continue that campaign in Victory. And it's probably what I'm going to use to shape a lot of what I do with the setting that I put together. I can play test material that I come up with every Wednesday and get that stuff out and happening. And that will give me a good chance to. I need to make sure I have a good handle on all the fantasy tropes that are strictly Wizards of the Coast. They have a few of those that I would consider necessary for a fantasy game. Oh, that's words and names that they have coined and phrased. Can't really use mind flayers or illithids. I think that they are the owners of the coined phrase of the Lich. Not undead. That's dwarves, elves, stuff that's purely Tolkien. That's all good and open and free. Stuff that's from easily displayed to be from mythology. Sure, that I can use that stuff that I come up with on my own. Yeah, but I just need to make sure that I'm not throwing any of their stuff in there. Yeah, move ahead with that. Already got some ideas for how I want it to look and what I want it to be, which is more than I can say for some of my other projects. So, yeah, moving ahead. Momentum. I haven't been able to build up much momentum on projects since, this started it and the pandemic kind of finished me off. I just kind of laid flat and stopped working because I couldn't get stuff through my head anymore. And now I think I can get stuff through my head because I'm not just motivated, I'm a little pissed off. And that tends to work. Where pure endorphin satisfaction of getting jobs done isn't going to make it possible for me to get over these little humps. A little adrenaline in there is probably going to give me the boost I need. Not the first time that I have had this motivation. Won't be the last time I've had this motivation. But it's time I made it work. Well, thank you for following me along on this particular rant. It's going to be a wild year. My goal. I'm going to try and have a fantasy supplement out by December of 2023. Try to have one out for Christmas, which is quite the task, and I doubt I'm going to make it, but I can set myself the goal. And doing this is not going to mean that other material is not getting done. I got a whole bunch of stuff I need to get out for my near modern campaigns and stuff in general for Victory. And now I'm motivated to get that out. And doing work in one area is probably going to give me supplemental material on the side to put out stuff in other areas. It's how it worked in the past, and I think I can get back to that flow. So here is hoping. I need to re-up some of my subscriptions, or prescriptions, both. So, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, give me a thumbs down. Feedback is feedback. I'd like to hear what you'd like to see in a fantasy book, what kind of stuff that you want to see coming out, stuff maybe you haven't seen come out, or the kind of material you're looking for, adventures or monster manuals or what have you. Things you'd like to hear me talk about, things you'd like to hear me cover, questions you'd like to hear me answer, please leave me a comment down below. I will love getting your comment. You'll love leaving me one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why not? My channel is awesome. Please hit the subscribe button. If you do, you might also want to hit the notification bell so that you're alerted when my videos become available. If you'd like to contribute to the channel in a more substantial manner, I'd like you to hit me up my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ScottCorm, and consider donating. Absolutely anything helps and allows me to make better content more often. And also, if you are a patron, then when I produce a supplement for anything, that is something that I just give to my patrons flat out as a benefit. So you might want to think about it if you're interested. Again, thank you very much for watching. I'm Scott Corm. This is What Does Matter to Me. I'll see you next time on the next Matters of DeCorum.